Gold prices are on the up, so is silver to be honest, but I have seen a dealer looking to offer gold at about 3% under spot price. Hugely competitive market right now for gold, with the prices going up to all-time highs. So what impact are these price rises for gold and silver going to have on us as stackers? And also, compounding that, the Royal Mail increasing their prices by up to 73% on special delivery. It's daylight robbery, I don't like it, and we're going to talk about it in today's video. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining me for another precious metal ramble. So, gold and silver prices are up. We have seen all-time highs in UK pounds and US dollars. Very exciting time to own gold for sure. And if you don't own gold, perhaps you're thinking about getting some. Certainly, buying gold is a good thing, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and how these price rises have impacted the buying market, the premium market, and how things are going. Also, I've got this little handy leaflet out here because not only are gold and silver prices on the up, but the postage prices for special delivery here in the UK, which is what we would use to send gold in the post, have gone up massively. Here's a little cheat sheet, up to 70% increases in prices. That is going to have a direct effect on the buying and selling of gold on second-hand markets, and I think from dealers, but we'll talk on that as well as we go throughout the video. And to highlight just how crazy this market is in this massive price market we're seeing right now, and premiums too, a gold dealer on the Silver Forum has listed a batch of gold Krugerrands just today at the time of filming, so Tuesday afternoon, at 1,635. That's below spot price. Spot 1,675. Massive, massive discounts. And that's unheard of. I really do think that's unheard of. And I think that's indicative of the market right now for gold. It is tough to be competitive. If you are looking to sell your gold, people are expecting to pay pittance. They're expecting to pay spot price. Now, the secondary problem comes, or will come, in April, I think it is, when the prices for the Royal Mail change, and it will cost a lot more to post that gold. We're going to touch on that in the second part of this video, but for now, I do want to just sort of talk about this price rise in gold and what impact it's going to have in that little market. I'm going to share some of my thoughts and opinions. It's very important to reiterate that mine are maybe not the same as yours, and they maybe are not applicable to your own circumstances. It would be great to hear what you've got to say about the world of gold and silver buying and what you're doing. That's one of the reasons why we do videos like this. So make sure you comment down below. And if you're enjoying, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button as well. That'd be great. So gold right now, is it going to be a good buy? Well, we're seeing all-time highs for gold. So one would arguably say, no, it's not a good time to buy. But when you can get gold at 1,635 underneath spot price, maybe seems like a pretty good deal to have. So take it easy is what I say. We're going to see some price changes for gold and silver over the coming weeks and months, I have no doubt. They could go up, down, left, right. I don't know, and nobody else will know. Just be careful though. If you're seeing this big run up in gold prices, maybe it'll top £1,700 in the UK, maybe it'll top $2,200 in the US. Just be careful. Don't go over your own sort of saving budgets. If you've got a particular monthly budget and you're thinking gold is going to keep on going up over the rest of this month, maybe you can bring forward that budget and buy now. But I really wouldn't, anywhere sense of the word, start to think about going all in on anything. I think that's really important. And that's something I've talked about so many times in the past. I'm not going to really dwell on that subject. But what I will say is if you are looking to buy, and if perhaps you're just doing a regular buy, or perhaps you've got some savings that you are putting for one side for just this kind of occasion when perhaps you think the time is right to go and buy, then make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you're getting the best deal possible, because the premiums out there are cascading down massively. If we're seeing, as I've just demonstrated, a dealer offering gold coins at, I think that's about 97% spot price. It's like £15 per percentage point. So yeah, about £15 an ounce. So that's 45, yeah. Probably about 97% of spot price. If they're offering that price, then why would you buy it elsewhere for more? You know, that's my point here. It's really important to get that in your mind, that you can pay less for your gold and silver. But be careful where you buy it from. That's another thing definitely to add to the situation. Silver as well, coming down in price points. Now, spot prices rise a little bit since the Atkinson's 10 coin offer, where we saw here a middle mini tube of 10 coins for spot price plus VAT. So a lot of people who've got these coins could probably think about selling them back to Atkinson's at pretty much the break-even price, depending on their buyback price. So it's worth having a look and seeing. But what I would say is, again, with silver, like gold, premiums have come down massively, and you shouldn't really be paying. I see a lot of sellers who really are very optimistic with their pricings, and they'll put Britannia's up for £26 an ounce, which is an absolute laughable joke. And I mean that in the most sort of sensitive way possible to these sellers. And unsurprisingly, they end up bumping their listings. If you don't know what the acronym bumping means, it means they are constantly hitting the refresh button to get it at the top of the sales thread, because nobody's bought it and nobody's going to buy it either. So just be careful where you're buying. Now, a secondary part of this is the factor of postage. So a lot of people don't, I'm looking for the leaflet, it's right here. A lot of people don't necessarily take into consideration postage. And often when you're buying from a dealer, it'll be like the price of the coin is $16.35 and then post on top. And you don't necessarily think about that. And you might commit to the buy and then realize that actually you're paying quite a lot in extra postage. And that's going to be compounded come April when these new price points are introduced from the Royal Mail. So I have this little handy dandy table, which was not created by me. I need to give credit to Arthean on the Silver Forum, I think I'm pronouncing that right, who sent this to me. It is absolutely wonderful to see that little cheat sheet. So prices have gone up. I mean, look, it's inflation. It's above inflation, arguably, but then arguably it's also perhaps not. But remember, we've had a price rise. This was effective from October. We've had like 4 price rises in 2 years. So Royal Mail is, of course, a laughable joke, and we all know that, and we've all seen that in the previous history of the Royal Mail. But yeah, they're increasing their prices across the board for special deliveries. Average I'd say is like 7 or 8% there. It depends on what you're sending and how much that's gone up. But it's gone up, and that's annoying. However, when you start looking at the higher rates of insurance, certainly in this category here, which bear in mind is going to be the only appropriate category to send anything worth more than £1,000, which is pretty much it's definitely any 1 ounce gold coin, and usually you're looking at probably about 2-3 sovereigns worth. Well, 3 sovereigns worth is over £1,000. So you're now having to spend 73% more posting, £17.95 rather than £10.35. Gone are the days where, so from my perspective as a seller, if I was selling bits of gold, I would perhaps have free post on a certain threshold. If I was selling a couple of ounces of gold, I would discount the postage to make it more of an enticable deal. But that's a huge hit to take as a seller for precious metals. So unfortunately, that has to be passed on to customers. And when I start bringing back the Buyers Club, that's the word I was looking for, the Buyers Club in possibly May, I don't know, I haven't quite decided yet. I'm going to have to factor that in. I'm going to have my postage prices published there and see what they are. And I think it will make gold quite uncompetitive, actually. When you factor in that I'm going to be having my fee to sell an ounce of gold, and the fact that we have to sell that ounce of gold at probably spot price to get any kind of semblance of deal, depending on what it is, and then the buyer has to pay postage on top of that, so maybe we have to price lower than spot price to actually get it to a spot price deal. You're suddenly thinking, actually, is it even worth it for sellers to sell gold at the moment? And you can get pretty close to spot price from most dealers. Will the dealers change their buying prices for gold now because of this postage increase? A lot of the time they would be happy to buy at 98% of spot and sell it for 2% over spot, make a 4% margin, and offer the postage as part of the margin there. That's now like 1 and a bit percent, 1.3% of their margin if they offer free post. I don't think they will. And you factor in as well that if you have a number of 1 ounce gold coins that you're selling, you have to do multiple packages because the insurance rating is only up to a certain amount, 2,500. And if you have it over, then technically you're voiding every single bit of value that you're getting from that insurance. It's very important to remember that here in the UK. If you send something like, for example, this Atmex coin, I bought this for £2,505. So that's technically over the threshold of the 2,500 cover. It's an incredible coin. I love this 100 soles coin. It's got a premium to it. The raw price of gold in it is probably less than 2,500 now. But if prices continue to rise for gold, we might see me struggle to even ever get this posted because it's above that. So from my perspective, what am I doing as a sort of business seller? Well, I'm researching now third-party insurance for sending things, getting lost in transit, and what that cover would look like per package and how much those premiums would cost me. But again, that's an added cost. And yes, whilst I might be able to save on, if we get this little table up again, I might be able to save on, sending out a £17.95 package. Instead, I can just send it through the regular. A lot of these insurance companies will stipulate that you still have to send through a registered service of a certain level, but you can see the difference here. I'm saving, near on £10 per package, if not more, £11 per package. And then it's about how many packages can I get for the insurance premium in that year? Would it save me money overall? That's the sort of general gist of things. And then maybe I can offer postage at a lower rate with a guarantee there. But then there's a whole host of different things to factor in about that. It doesn't sit well with me. And I think, honestly, the Royal Mail has completely lost the plot when it comes to those price points. They are absolutely outrageous. I could just do a whole video moaning about the Royal Mint. It's not going to change anything. They're doing it to, I think, direct customers towards different types of services. They don't like these big high value stuff. I think it costs them too much money to have. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting impact on the gold and silver markets for sure. But the prices going up, prices going up for everything, isn't it? It's cost of living. So it's nice to sort of see gold and silver catching up a little bit in that cost of living crisis and having that. But what I would say is gold's better than silver on that front. We're nowhere near the all-time highs for silver in the UK and the US, and we're seeing massive all-time highs for gold. So you can only just sit there and say, actually, silver is pretty crap when it's related to gold. The difference is, of course, that there's a premium on silver, but those premiums are coming down, and it's very difficult to know where the bottom line will be on these premiums in the future. Where will they sit, and how will they affect us individual buyers and, of course, sellers? Businesses out there that used to make a little bit of margin on the silver. I can see that there's a lot of like coin flippers and like hobbyist dealers, or even small dealers, to be honest, small sort of self-employed dealers that are struggling on margins. They really are. They're still selling decent amounts. There's still a really good quantity of silver and gold being bought out there on the markets, but premiums are so low right now that they have to be competitive, and they're not making the margins they once were. And whilst I don't begrudge a dealer for making 5, 6, 7% margins on products before, now when they're making 2% margins instead of 5, 6, 7% margins, that's a big hit and a big difference for them. They're doing a lot of work for a lot less money, and the same amount of work for a lot less money, I should say. And I think that's going to be interesting. There'll be some dealers who'll just be like, well, it's not worth it anymore. And some of those that will do it, because they enjoy what they do, great. They'll still be there. They'll trundle along, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So one day I think things will match up and marry up again, but it's hard to see when that will be with these current markets. It really will. So we'll have to wait and see how it all impacts. April, I think it's like April the 2nd. Seem to remember the raw mail prices are coming in from. So that's going to you're going to see big jumps in overall prices of gold. I think dealers will increase all of their premiums by at least 0.5% on gold, I think, to factor in that and cover that. How it will affect silver is yet to be determined, because a lot of the time you don't necessarily have that huge sort of valuation point on silver. If you're buying just a tube, for example, from a dealer, it's already at a certain price point that's lower than the value of Royal Mail Special Delivery. But if you buy multiples, it'll have an impact for sure. So we'll see. But yeah, to close out this argument of gold and silver price rising and what that means for the markets and what it means for us as stackers. If you're holding gold, great. I would say just hold it. Don't worry about the selling of it right now. Put it in, a safe or a storage box, lock deposit box, whatever they're called. Don't worry about it for 20 years. You'll be absolutely fine. If you're looking to acquire gold right now, be sensible about it. Be shrewd about it. Make sure you're getting a good price for it. As I said, there are deals happening on the forum right now for way below spot price for gold. And other coins as well going at spot price. It's pretty manic and unheard of, to be honest. We're in sort of uncharted territory in that respect. So I think it's very interesting to see how things are going to go, really. It's an interesting time to be alive in the world of gold and silver. Even more interesting if you've already got an established gold stack. But don't let that put you off if you've not got one already. Now, it'd be great to hear what you've got to say in the comment section, so please do feel free to comment down below with your thoughts and opinions on this particular topic. It would be great to hear from you. A huge thank you to my Backyard Bullion Ramblers for watching to the back end of my videos, and a special shout out to the Cool Kids Club members. If you're in the Cool Kids Club members, I'm going to leave you with a little phrase or a quiz question that you have to answer to let me know that you're super extra special cool. My motto for this video is don't panic, Mr. Mannering. What TV show is that from? Let's see you down in the comments. Thanks all for watching. We'll see you on the next one. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.